And since Juneteenth, National Independence Day, is officially June 19th, that's tomorrow, the federal government and states are springing into action to recognize the new holiday today. With June 19th falling on a Saturday this year, the closest workday is today, which is a Friday. So many states, including Maryland, Nebraska, Missouri, West Virginia, and Alabama, are giving most public employees the day off. But government workers in other states like California, well, they'll have to wait until next year. At the federal level, most employees have Juneteenth off, a day Vice President Kamala Harris echoed has been in the works for a while.
The leaders who have been calling for this day for so long, including the one and only Miss Opal Lee.
So what if you work for a private company? What exactly are your rights as an employee when it comes to the federal holidays, such as the new one, Juneteenth? We have employment law attorney and mediator, Angela Reddock-Wright. She's joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you. She's coming to us straight from the West Coast in Los Angeles. I know it's quite early there. It's about 9:39. So thank you for waking up and sharing your morning with us on BNC Live.
Good morning. It's my pleasure.
Now, Attorney Reddock-Wright, let's jump right in. There are a few misconceptions about what employers can and cannot do when it comes to federal holidays. So the first misconception, employers cannot make you work on a federal holiday. Is that true?
Well, it really depends on whether it's a private employer or a government employer. So federal government and state government employers have to observe the federal holidays, but private employers have the option to do so or not. But most private employers, you will find, actually do provide federal holidays. With Juneteenth, given that this just passed this week as a federal holiday, many private employers are scrambling to determine if they're going to provide the day off or a day in observation. Obviously, it's on a Saturday this year, but a day in observation. And as we know from this past year, many private employers have stepped up to support social equity issues like Black Lives Matter, prevent Asian hate, and so many other social justice issues. And as a part of that, many of them, even before this federal law passed, had already determined that they were going to provide employees a day to observe Juneteenth.
Okay, so this next question is all about the money, all right? Another
Yes.
misconception, the federal holiday means my job must pay me overtime pay. Now, I know there's a difference between obviously employees on salary and those who are hourly. Can you explain how that would work?
Well, what it means is if you have to work on that day, if you have to work on a holiday, then you may be entitled to overtime pay. But if you have the day off, obviously you have the day off, so there's no entitlement to pay. But for sure, whether it's Juneteenth or any other federal holiday or state holiday that your state may observe, there is a possibility for hourly non-exempt employees that employer may have to pay overtime or double overtime, depending on what the overtime rules are for your state.
Okay, here's another one I have for you. Are employers required to offer some type of paid holiday? And where do things stand with labor laws on this issue?
Again, if it's a federal government employer, for sure, for any holiday that's been designated as a federal holiday, or for state government employees, any holiday that's been designated as a state holiday, and often the federal and state holidays overlap, for sure, that employer has to give you the day to observe or designate a day to observe. But for private employers, they have the option. Some private employers, for example, have gone to what we call a PTO or paid time off system. And in that system, they say, we're giving you 14 days a year or 15 days a year, and you can use those dates as you choose, whether it be for vacation, for federal or state holidays that are important to you. A classic example is like President's Day or even Martin Luther King Day. Some employers don't offer those days off as a part of their standard days off. But if King Day or now Juneteenth Day is very important to you, you can use it as one of your paid time off holidays.
Got it. So I want you to leave our viewers with a little nugget of information, whether they work for the private sector or the public. What do they need to know moving forward about this holiday?
Really, it's important to know, to review your company handbook, and to know what it is that your company provides. As I indicated, many companies will designate which holidays they're providing throughout the company. Some companies give you the option to choose what days you want to take off and what days are important to you. So start with reading that handbook. If you're confused, talk to human resources, talk to your manager, talk to your supervisor to understand exactly what is provided within your company.
Oh,
And I would say for those who are able to observe, and for the companies and organizations that have provided employees that time off, enjoy Juneteenth, and let's remember the spirit in which this day was founded. It's all about the freedom of Black people, the freedom of others, and let's continue to build on that and create opportunities for everyone.